Hey all, it's Vin here. We are about a month away from the War Within release. A lot of my friends have been asking me, they're looking to come back essentially, and they're asking me, what do I need to start playing again? So I thought I'd make a comprehensible list of what I deem to be mandatory or necessary add-ons and weakors. So, number one add-on, a boss mod. Deadly boss mods or Bigwigs and Littlewigs. You need one of them. I suggest Bigwigs. For some reason, certain weakors just work with Bigwigs better than DBM. So save yourself some trouble. Just get Bigwigs. If you are dead set against Bigwigs and you want to use deadly boss mods, go for it. It's up to you. Next, we're going to do weakors, the granddaddy of them all. Weakors are going to be your bread and butter when building your UI. Now, for class weakors, I recommend Luxthos. There are plenty of other ones you can utilize. This is just what's worked for me. As far as how to elevate your gameplay, we have first on deck, externals on you will show when an external cooldown is being used on you. Bop, sack, rally, darkness, AMZ, you can just see some of the icons. This allows you to see when you have a sack from a paladin, so you don't pop your defensive. Just simple as that. Another one is potions. This is a nice lightweight little weak aura. This basically shows exactly where your potions are, if they're on cooldown, how many you have, all in one nice little bar. Next is raid ability timeline. This is a nice little weak aura that turns their boss bars, the boss mod bars, into a scrolling bar with timers and abilities. Nice little add-on to help dress up your UI. Next on the list, we have trinkets. This just shows your trinkets that you have equipped when they're on cooldown, when they're active. Just like seeing it. Again, you can probably use bars for some of these, the potions and the trinkets, but I like having weak auras for it. Next, similar to externals on you, we have raid CDs. You can whitelist and blacklist some. Similar to the externals on you, you can whitelist and blacklist which spells you want to see highlighted. But this just, let's say you're a warrior, you have Rallying Cry, there's another warrior in the raid, you're in a pug, you're not in comms. Warrior B pops Rally. Yours is off cooldown, you know not to press yours because another rally is already being used. Simple as that. So that's it for, we have, one more combat timer. Just see how long you're in combat. So next we have raid frames, moving away from weak auras. So for raid frames, you could use default. I'd consider that an add-on. It's not, it's built into the game. But there's Voodoo, Grid, I don't know. There's so many different raid frames. I've been using Cell, more beneficial if you're a healer. If you're a DPS, they're not as needed, but it is nice to still have raid frames. You should always be playing with them regardless. After that, we have Plater or Threat Plates. This is basically just nameplates. Plater is nice. I'll pull it up in game because you can import profiles. So if you have a streamer or someone you like and they have a Plater profile, you can just import it and boom, your frames look exactly like theirs do. Now, next we have OMNICD. So just to show it in action, I took a screenshot of a stream from the other night. You can see under the party frames, there are different cooldowns when they're off cooldown, when they're on cooldown, and when they're active. This is good if you are a tank. You can pull around offensive cooldowns, knowing who has damage. And for healers, you know who has defensives available for when they get targeted with certain boss abilities. Now, next is we're going to go back into the game. Details. Details, recount, whatever have you. Details has a lot more options. MDT, this is going to be useful for Mythic Plus. You're not going to need it in raid, but essentially, shout out Nagi. It is a way for groups to get a comprehensible plan in order before they actually go into the dungeon and start it. Next, we have MRT, or Method Raid Tools. This is needed in raid, and it's essentially what Mythic Dungeon Tools is for raid. It allows you to go in with a plan. You're going to need this, especially if you start Mythic raiding or want to get into it. You're going to need this add-on 100%. Next is a nice little add-on. Just want to throw it in there. Right-click Modifier is what it is called. It disables right-click during combat or out of combat. And because I find myself when I'm playing, I'm using right-click to move the camera. And sometimes I found that I was targeting things that I didn't want to target. So this add-on got rid of that. Nice little add-on. I think it's 100% necessary. So that's why I put it in this list. So we're going to cut right here. Everything I said before is 100% necessary to start playing in 2024 for the War Within. Now on to quality of life add-ons. We're going to just rattle these through very quickly. So for quality of life, we have Bagnon. Next one is mini-map button icon. Turns all the add-on buttons by your mini-map into a collapsible menu. Very useful. Next we have OPIE, which is a radial menu add-on. I'll show it right here. You can cycle through whatever you want. So for mage, teleports, I have it for Specs and Hearthstone and other toys. Next we have player and target frames. I use shadow unit frames. I just like how they look. You can go with default for this one, but again, quality of life, the ability to have extra options is always nice. Another add-on is true stat values. This is a add-on to show you when you're reaching diminishing returns and the actual rating for your secondary stats. Saved instances. This is a nice quality of life add-on, especially if you have a lot of alts. You can show characters if they're locked, always show, whatever have you. You can track multiple currencies, what they're locked to, their renowns, their reps, whatever. Just a nice little add-on to avoid logging over to see what you have. One other add-on that I like, two other add-ons, I'll combine them into one here, are Leatrix Maps and Leatrix Plus. Leatrix Maps makes it so if there's an unexplored area, you can see through the fog of war. You can see flight paths, portals on unexplored areas and unexplored areas as well. And for Leatrix Plus, it allows you to automate some things. So auto resurrect whenever you're out of combat, sell your junk, repair automatically, and you can kind of pick and choose how you want to approach it. But there's a lot of nice little niche things that you can do to really tweak your UI. So that's kind of it. I just wanted to get a nice little concise video to get right to the point of exactly what you need to do and how you need to start building your UI to really maximize your gameplay. Chop, chop, cut, cut. So here, I just want to show what the UI could look like. You want to approach building the UI I have. You can see the OMNICD details, the raidability timeline, Plater, boss mods, dungeon weak auras, shadow unit frames, all that stuff in action in a dungeon environment and a raid environment. So there you go. Like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch. I'm streaming every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I hope to have another video coming soon. See ya.